Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weisheit, licensed clinical social worker. Thank you so much for joining us as we continue with our Hurricane Ida recovery. Part of that is finding out from those people who are taking care of organizations how they're doing. We welcome back to the program Chett Chiasson, Executive Director, Greater Lafourche Port Commission. Chett, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me today, Keith.
We appreciate it. Now, look, one of those things that we always like to find out, we know how important the port is, not only to your area, but to our community, to the state, and to the nation. Let's talk a little bit about some of the port recovery as it stands now with you guys.
So we're have been working very hard for the last month and a week or so to get things back up and running. So have our customers, our tenants of the port, and all the other groups, utility groups, to try to get things back up and running. I can tell you, um, we've made great strides over the last several weeks, and we should have power restored one by one to facilities over the next coming days, which is a great thing. Get us back up and running fully. We have about 60 or so percent, 65% capacity right now operating in the port, which is great. Um, and once we get full power, we'll probably be at about 75% capacity, and then that'll grow slowly over the coming months to get us back to 100%. We had several facilities that took a considerable amount of damage, so it'll take a little bit to get those back up and running and online. But I think the important thing to note is that we're operating, um, we have great capacity, and even though at 75%, we have much more capacity than every other port combined along the entire U.S. Gulf Coast to service the oil and gas industry, and we'll continue to do that.
Wow, and so that's a remarkable thing to be able to get that done. It's interesting. We see that the power has been restored kind of slowly as they go south. And, we've all been kind of waiting and watching, and it's really good news that now we have electricity and shore power down in that area for most of that. And so 65 to 75%, as you said, a whole lot better in production than what everybody else can do. It talks about how important the port is and what you mean for both the economy and for our nation and international.
That is correct. And we see the price of oil, a barrel of oil going up. We saw the price of fuel increase dramatically after the hurricane, and all of the devastation and the impacts to the refineries in Louisiana. So we understand what our little role is here at Port Fourchon to provide the energy service needs for this country. We take that seriously, and that's why we're working so hard to get things back up and running quickly.
Well, we do appreciate it. We know part of it is kind of navigation and what you can do, and LA1 certainly makes a difference with that. Let's talk a little bit about that LA1 project and where things stand with it.
So excited about the fact that yesterday, on October 6th, um, the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development opened bids for phase two of the elevated LA1 project that'll take it from Leeville to Golden Meadow inside the levee system. And those bids came in, the apparent low bidder. Now, obviously, there's a lot of contract details that have to take place, a lot of review that has to take place. There were three bidders. The apparent low bidder thus far is James Construction out of Louisiana, and their bid was for $436 million, slightly under what the DOTD estimate was, which is great considering we just had, I'll keep calling it a Cat 5 hurricane hit us, and we have bids that are good and below what it was anticipated, which is great. So that project, we anticipate contracts that DOTD will sign contract with the contractor by the end of the year, and notice to proceeds issued somewhere in January or February. And we'll have about just under 5 years of construction of that road, and then we'll be driving on it. So we're very excited about that. We're very excited to be a partner in the multiple organizations that have funded that project.
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time talking with Archie about that and talking about where things are. I can't imagine how excited the two of you are with all of the work that is going into that. Excuse me. And it's just one of those things where people don't realize the all of the important aspects that go into just getting it out to bid. And now that we've got bid back, we're moving forward. It's like the recovery process. We're moving forward.
That's correct, and I think it's important. It's a testament to uh, the perseverance of our community, and I think this project coming in a time when we desperately need to have some positive news, we desperately need some things to happen. It's going to be an economic boom for the community while this is under construction because we'll have people coming in. It's kind of odd to think that way because we have housing issues in our communities, right?
Right.
But at the same time, we're going to be bringing in more people, but they'll be, spending $436 million or more over the next 5 years in our community. So we desperately need this positive news, and we desperately need to continue to persevere to get things back up in our communities in the coming months and years.
We talk all the time about getting back to normal. This would be better than normal. And so that's really good news. Chett, we're always so very thankful for your time, and thank you for your hard work. And congratulations on where you've gotten the port to this point, and we look forward to that improving as each week goes by.
Thank you very much, and thanks for what y'all are doing for the community.
Thank you, Chett. All right, again, that's Chett Chiasson, who is Executive Director of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission, taking care of things down in Port Fourchon. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, more from Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.